Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. So for those of you who are new, my name is Christiane, otherwise known here as IHeartAirbrush, and today we're going to be diving into AeroBlend. Today is the stress test. So if you are interested in learning a little bit about the AeroBlend formula, my thoughts on it as we go through the day wearing it and seeing how it holds up, then please keep on watching. Alright, so as you know from the intro, we're going to be talking about AeroBlend Airbrush makeup, more specifically their foundation. So I have some here. I got the sample set from their website a while back. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looked like, because the look of it was a little bit off-putting. I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit off-putting when it came to my door. I wasn't sure about it, but I did go ahead and email their customer service and they explained it to me that everything was fine. It was just the pigment and the mixing medium that separated and all of that. But I did want to kind of go ahead and show you so you're not like shocked if you do order their makeup and it comes looking like this. So this is the set that I got. It came with 8 foundations. And if you take a closer look, you'll see like it's almost like gray toned and discolored, and it's got some blue in there. So yeah, it was just a little off-putting at first. It kind of made me a little bit worried about the makeup and if it was okay to use on my skin. But like I said, after I talked to the customer service, I didn't have any like reservations or anything at all about trying this foundation. So I did go ahead and shake up the bottle. So as you can see, I'm going to show you right now, they look completely normal now, as you can see. Skin tone shades. These shades might be a little bit dark for me because I was more tan when I ordered this makeup. I have become very fair over the winter months. So yeah, they might be a little bit dark, but it's okay. We'll just blend it down. Okay. Cause this is for testing purposes. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right. So, I'm going to do maybe 4 to 6 hours of wear, because realistically for me, 4 to 6 hours of wear is what I look for in my makeup anyways. And if it could last that 4 to 6 hours, then there's no problem lasting to the 8 to 12 hour mark. So, I mean, we're going to do 4 to 6 today. So let's go ahead and just get to applying it on the face. I did go ahead and put Nars Radiant and Creamy Concealer on the under eye area. If you've been a longtime follower of mine, you know that I like to conceal using airbrush makeup. I use a separate line to conceal from the line that I use for my foundation from another brand. We're not going to talk about that because, you know, we're working on AeroBlend right now. But as far as my knowledge, AeroBlend only has this one line, this one formula. So I'm going to go ahead and try out with the lightest shade, which happens to be the foundation shade I'm going to be using today. I'm going to go ahead and try to see if I can conceal, get any coverage with it before I go in and just kind of apply the foundation to the full face. So let's see how this goes. So I'm going to go ahead and go in with 035 for the concealing and foundation, and then I'm going to take 045 to go ahead and bronze and contour. I don't have a blush or anything like that. I only picked up the foundations when I was trying it out because I only felt it right to test out the foundation, because I figure if the foundation works, then the rest of the products will be fine too, because they're all coming from the same line. So let's just go ahead and get in with concealing. So I'm going to be taking my Ket 0.25mm airbrush because I find that this airbrush works really great for concealing. So I'm just going to go ahead and take 035 from the AeroBlend formula. It's really bizarre how like the color looks so different in the bottle than when you actually apply it to the face. But like I said, don't be off put by that, because when you do apply it to the face, you actually do get a nice flesh tone color. So I'm just going to go ahead and test out the spray out on a tissue, make sure everything's working good. Beautiful. All right, so now let's just go in and conceal. So I'm going to start with some of these darker spots and then go in with some of these lighter spots and see how it does. So let's go ahead and get in with the foundation. So I did go ahead and swap back to my Dinair JX2, and we're just going to go ahead and apply foundation. So I'm going to add maybe like, I use 6 drops of the Dinair foundation, but because this one is thinner, I'm going to go with 10 drops and see where that gets me. Okay, and as you can see, diffuse out my blemishes a decent amount. It's nothing like the Neutralizing Camouflage line, but then again, nobody said it was like Dinair. So, I mean, for an airbrush foundation, I think it did okay. So now let's go ahead and get in with the foundation. So I'm just going to start and just apply foundation like I normally apply it. It's thin enough. The mist is nice and light. So I'm just gonna go ahead and relax through this whole process. So that is it. There's nothing left in the cup, and so let's go ahead and assess this situation here. So I'm looking at the finish. The finish is giving me Dinair Glamour vibes. Definitely giving me Dinair Glamour vibes. The way that it goes on too is very reminiscent to Dinair Glamour line. I know because I used that line. That was the first line that I started out with, and I used it for years on end until they came out with the Colair line, and even then the majority of my makeup is the Glamour line. So I would say that it's very reminiscent of that line. It definitely evened out my skin tone really nicely. Everything looks nice and even. This was only 10 drops, which is really great. Usually when the formulas are a little bit thinner, you end up using a lot more of it, but this 10 drops really went a long way for evening out my skin tone, as you can see here. As far as the coverage though, I can still see a lot of my blemishes coming through. Let me turn down the light so that you can kind of see a little bit better. Hopefully this allowed you to see a little bit better, but yeah. No, they're still slightly showing through. Nothing that a cream concealer couldn't fix. Of course, you just have to make sure that it's water-based, because the AeroBlend makeup is water-based. You want to make sure that you're using the same bases throughout whatever products you are using. But yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and get in with the next step, which is bronzer, because as you can see, my face is very flat right now. We have to go ahead and give it a little bit of life. So I'm going to go ahead and add just some bronzer, maybe a little sun kiss to the middle of the face here, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to be taking 045 to go ahead and do that. Just 3 drops. I usually use about 2, but because this is thinner, I want to use an extra drop just to go ahead and make sure I have enough. So I'm just going to go ahead and start. I always bronze up my ears first. Take it down. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and add some to the lids, because I know they have eyeshadows, so this would be a good way to test out to see how it holds up. My lids have been prepped. I did put primer potion on there, which is what I normally put on, and then I did dust a light layer of foundation on the lids. So let's just go ahead and kind of define the lids a little bit. It's a great tip to use your bronzer shade to go ahead and define or contour the eyelids, because it makes everything go really fast. You can definitely multitask with the airbrush makeup. I've done it so many times in the past, especially in my quick routines or my quick videos, my travel routine, my mom videos. I'm always multitasking with airbrush makeup. And so yeah, doing your bronzer on the lid, even applying your blush as a lid shade too, a nice wash on the lid, gives you a beautiful result super quick without you having to dabble in multiple products. So if you're minimalist with your makeup, that's really all you need. I think that looks good. Okay, and I'm just going to dust the rest. I have a lot left over, so I'm just going to go ahead and dust the rest over the cheeks. Not too much. Make sure this is all blended. And then some on the neck. Give me a tan. Okay, I still have some left in here. As you can hear, there's still a good amount in there, so I probably could have done without that last drop, just for reference sake. And yeah, so that is it for the foundation. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup. I'm not going to apply any other products on top of this because we want to see how it wears. But I am going to go ahead and do my brows, pop on some mascara, maybe a lippy, and I will be right back. So I went ahead, touched up my brows, did mascara, popped on a gloss. You know how we do. And now we are all done. So what I will say about this makeup right now, from feel and observation, is that it evened out my skin tone really good. My skin looks really nice. It looks soft. It's not overly matte. So I wouldn't say this is like a super matte finish. It definitely looks like skin, which is really nice. It evened everything out really beautifully as well. I don't feel like it's set though. I don't feel like it's set down, and I'm worried. Like, I feel like if I touch it, it's going to rub away the product. And I'm wondering if I should do that right now. Let me give you a close-up first, and then I'll touch it to see if it's set down, because it has been several minutes since I applied it, and yeah, so it should be set down by now, but we'll see. So let me give you that close up, and then we'll go ahead and check it out and see if it's set down. All right, so now that you've seen the close-up, let's go ahead and see if it's set down. Where shall we do it? In an inconspicuous area? How about back here? Back here. Oh, I don't want to ruin it. Okay. So just light pressure. Nothing too crazy. Just light pressure, as you saw. And it took off a little bit of the makeup. Darn, I was hoping that it would be set down all the way and it would be rub proof, but yeah, it took off some of the makeup. It's on the tissue there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's there. My fingerprint is there with makeup on it. Darn. Okay, let me get in closer so you can kind of see. But yeah, I rubbed like right here and you can see it's gone. And that was with such light pressure too. I just like, you know, just, oh, is it gone there too? No, okay, I'm gonna stop rubbing. So it's not very rub resistant, but rub resistancy is something that you definitely can work with the addition of like a primer, setting powders, and setting sprays. So I will go ahead and try that out in my next video just to see what's the best option if you want to go ahead and use this foundation. But yeah, so on its own, rub resistancy is a no-go. But like I said, evening out skin tone looks really good. Feels really good. Feels very nice and light. It looks really nice on the skin. So other than the rub resistancy thing, I don't really have a problem with it. And then of course, you know, the concealing aspect of it. Between the concealing aspect and the rub resistancy thing, it seems fine for what it is. So I'm going to go ahead and do a stress test now. We're going to wear it for several hours and kind of see how it wears. So it is 141, as you can see there. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and see how this wears. I'll go ahead and check in about maybe an hour. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in an hour. All right, so it's been about an hour. Right now it is 2:48. And yeah, let's go ahead and just take a close-up look at this, and then we'll go ahead and check back in the 4-hour mark. But let's go ahead and get a close-up of what it looks like now. So specs, details, I don't notice any fading at all. Everything pretty much still looks the same. I'm a little bit dewy in the areas where I normally get some shine, but it looks nice and natural, so I'm not mad at it. As far as like the feel, it feels like it's a lot more dry now. Everything is like, it feels like the makeup set down. But as far as the rub thing, I don't think that the rub thing has changed at all. I'm gonna go ahead and do it in the back here. Yeah. It didn't change. It's still on my finger, guys. Yep, there's still makeup on the tissue. I know it's hard to tell on there, but there's makeup on my finger, there's makeup on the tissue. So as far as rub resistancy, it's still the same. It's not very rub resistant, but as far as like it's setting down and feeling like it's set down, it definitely did set down and it feels like it. Yeah, other than that, I don't notice any big major differences. There's no real creasing in the shadow area. I do see a little bit of shine happening, but no creasing or anything like that yet. But yeah, so far so good. All right then, so I guess I will see you guys again at the 4-hour mark. All right, I am back. It's about 6:52 in the PM, and this is the 4-hour check-in. So let's go ahead and take a look, assess the situation. So it looks like everything is still there. I have a little bit of rubbing off where my kids touched my face. I tried very hard to prevent it, but they're fast, okay? So one of them kind of grabbed my face to get me to look at something, but I caught him quick enough that it didn't smear everything off. But there are a few patches that are missing there from touching the face. Like I said, the makeup sets, but it's not rub resistant when it's on its own. But as far as the look and everything, it still feels super light on the skin. I still don't really feel anything on the skin. It looks really nice and natural. It looks like my skin. Coverage, everything is still about the same other than the marks other than the spots that are missing makeup. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and give you a close-up so you can check it out. I do have a little bit of oiliness going on, but it's not horrible. It's just a little bit, not too bad. In the normal area is the T-zone here. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get a close-up so you can go ahead and see what's going on. Alright, so now that you got a close-up, you kind of saw what was going on with the face. I'd have to say that everything is holding up pretty well. At this point, because it's been 4 hours, this is about the halfway mark to the 8 hours, I'd say that the makeup hasn't changed much. Other than my oils and my shine coming through, which is normal whether I'm wearing makeup or not. I feel like this is what's going to continue to happen with my makeup. Let me check the eyes. Yeah, no oil still coming through. That could be because of the primer potion that I laid down beforehand, which is good because the primer potion actually works with this formula and keeping everything on, so that's a nice plus. But other than that, I feel like the 4-hour mark tells me a lot about how this makeup is going to continue to wear through that 8-hour, 10-hour, 12-hour mark. So I'd say this is where I'm going to stop the stress test, just because I feel like checking in after this would just kind of be redundant, so I don't want to go ahead and go that far. The most that I'm anticipating happening is more oil is going to come through. I'm going to get a little bit more shinier in the T-zone, but everything else is pretty much going to stay the same, as you can see. So that's being said, let's go ahead and pull the plug on the stress test, because like I said, nothing has changed really. Nothing's changed. As far as the color too, let's talk about color. I don't see any oxidation or any change in color. So that's really good. So now I know that when I wear this, and if I have prolonged wear, that nothing's going to change when I put on the shade. I think it got a little bit darker, but not anything that is insanely noticeable. And this color actually matches me really well. I kind of like the match here. It looks really nice. But yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and touch up some of the areas on my face, and then we'll go ahead and wrap out this video. So final thoughts on the stress test here is that the AeroBlend formula holds up very, very nicely on its own. I will say that there are some aspects of this makeup that could use a little bit of help. For example, the concealing and the adherence to the skin I would like to have more of, because like I said, I touch my face, my kids touch my face, sometimes we have accidental swipes and things like that. So I mean, I would like the rub resistancy to be up there, but seeing as that a lot of water-based airbrush makeup tend to not have a very sturdy rub resistancy, I'm not mad at this one. I've definitely experienced a lot worse in other brands. So hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully you found it informative as well. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. It helps me out a ton. Sharing this video also helps me out. So if you do have the platform for it, please go ahead and share this video. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you are subscribed, or if you choose to subscribe today, which thank you very much, don't forget to hit the little bell icon right next to the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. And what that will do is, if you are interested in seeing more of my videos, it'll have it pop up in your feed as soon as I post it. So I want to thank you once again for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next one. Bye!